Uh, a very good morning to all. So here we are with the question discussion laws of motion. Okay. Good morning, Lakshmi. How are you? Okay. So firstly, yeah. So if the screen is visible to you and I'm audible to you also, just write this thing in the chat box. Okay. Then we will move on to our session. Okay. Today we are going to discuss some question about the movable pulleys and multiple pulleys and the movable wedge. Okay. Good morning, JNV Anna. How are you? So tell me if the screen is visible to you and audible to you also in the chat box. Just do it fast, huh? Okay. So thank you, Anna, for the confirmation. The screen is visible to you all. I have considered it, and I am also visible to you. Okay. So yeah. So the very first question is here is on your screen. Try to solve it if you are able to solve it. Okay. Okay. I am giving you the about 1 minute to solve this question. Okay. Just take your time for 1 minute and try to understand what has been asked in this question. Here the values of masses are just a second. It is M1 and M2. Okay. So try to find out the relation of acceleration between masses and the pulleys. Okay. Okay. Are you guys solving this question or not? Okay. So this is a very conceptual question and it will help you solve variety of numerical asked from Newton laws of motion. Okay, so we are going to solve this question by the method of constraint. Okay, I will explain it step by step how to solve and then we will move on to the next question. Okay, so solution of this question is there is no rocket science in these types of question. You have to apply the concept. Eh? And one thing I want to tell you guys, ki focus on concept rather than fact. Okay? Fact रट लेना is not the only purpose of your study. You have to deep down in the concept of the question. Okay? And if you are able to understand the concept, I'm assuring you the fact means nothing to you. Okay? The facts came from the concept. Okay? So just try to understand the concept of a question. And it will also enhance the level of creativity of your mind. Got it? So what is the concept of this question? Let me discuss. You will see the first concept that we are using, concept number one, is the length of the string. Here you will see the length of the string is constant. Okay. So let's see. Lakshmi and Yanam has answered it. Let's see if these guys are correct or not. Okay, so first concept here is the length of string. Just a second. Length of the string is constant. ठीक है. Whatever method you have learned, like uh, there are some shortcut to solve these questions. Now, I am solving this question from the basic fundamental. Okay. You all know that the string that we are using here is inextensible. And what is the property of inextensible string? This inextensible string cannot be extended. The length of this string will be a constant. Okay. So whatever the length of this string, you will see there is a single string that we have using here. This goes up. Okay. So the length of the string is constant. One more concept that we are using here is, if this is the wall we have and this is a block, okay, and this is the distance x, let's say. If this block is moving in this direction, means x is reducing. X is reducing. So the velocity of this block would be considered as negative. So velocity of this block would be negative. But let's say here, but if this block and this is the wall and this is moving away, so what will happen? This x is going to increase. X is increasing. So we would consider this, the velocity of this object, as the positive velocity. Got it? These are two concepts that I have told you. The length of the string is remains constant always. Okay. So let us consider the length up to this point, because there is a length which is covering the pulley, not in the straight manner, in the form of a arc. Okay. So let's say the length of the string here is x1. This length I am going to tell you. So let's say this length is x2. Okay, from this point. And from this point to this point, the length of the string is x3. Let's say same length will be here. Okay, x3. And this length is x4, let's say. And this is the height. Let's say this is the height. Okay, this h is not going to change. Only this x3 will change. This x1 will change. And this x3 will also change. Okay. Tell me, this is the pulley. Okay. And this is the string over it. तो क्या ये लेंथ कभी चेंज होगी? बताओ. This is the string. Let's say string moving here, और ये यहाँ पे आ गई मूव करके x distance. तो ये string भी x distance इधर ही चली गई होगी. Only these lengths are going to change. But what about this? This will not change. ठीक है. x इधर आया, x इधर चला गया, but this length is remain same. ठीक है. So the string which is covering the pulley is not going to change the length of the string. Okay. Also, the in total the length of string is not going to change. Somewhere it is going to be increasing, or somewhere it is going to be decreasing. Okay. Got it? So we would write here the length of string L is, let's say the length of total string is L. Okay. So it is nothing but x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x3, because here we encountered x3 two times, plus x4 plus h. Okay. Now how to calculate this x2 and x4? So I'm telling you here, like this is the pulley, and in the first case we have this pulley, this string from here to here. The entire length of this pulley, the circumference of this circle will be 2 pi r. Let's say the radius of the pulley is r, and both are the pulley, both the pulley are same. ठीक है, r r. ठीक है. So what about this length? This is just as the half of the length, half of the circumference. So it is 2 pi r by 2, which means pi r. Got it? So L is nothing but x1 plus, what is the value of x2? X2 is pi r plus, what is x3? We don't know, but x3 is a length. X3 plus x3 is 2x3 plus, what is x4? Again pi r plus h. Okay. If you differentiate this term, now, now differentiate L with respect to time. Okay. So dl by dt is equals to dx1 by dt plus d of pi r divided by dt plus 2 times dx3 by dt plus d pi r by dt plus dh by dt. This h is also not going to change. Okay, because pulleys move upward and backward. तो pulley यहाँ तक आ सकती है maximum. This h will remain same. Okay. Now, what about this dl by dt? The length of the string is not going to change. The very first concept that we have learned so far. Okay. So length of the string is not going to change. So means this dl by dt is become 0. और कौन कौन सी टर्म है जो 0 होंगी? डी पाई आर बाई डी टी भी 0 होगा, बिकॉज दिस लेंथ, आई हैव टेल यू, दिस लेंथ इज सेम. ठीक है, नॉट चेंजिंग. Again, this is also 0. This dh is also 0. What do we have? We have dh 1 by dt. 0 is equals to dx1 by dt plus 2 times of, okay, got it? In any time, if you are finding the screen is not visible to you and I am not audible to you, just write it in the chat box. Okay. So this is dx1 by dt. This is 2 times of dx2 by dt. JNV Yanam has said that why LHS is 0. But this is not LHS. Okay. This dl by dt is the LHS according to you, na? and according to me also, this is LHS. This is the entire length of the string. Okay, this is the entire length of the string. And I have told you that length of the string is constant because the string that we are using here is inextensible. Okay. So agar length of the string cannot be extended, so means it is a constant quantity and it is not going to change with respect to time also, with respect to any factor. Got it? So this x1, x2, x3 plus x3 plus x4 plus h, this is the length of the string, total length, and it will not going to change. Got it? So that is why the LHS side, which is dl by dt, is become 0. Got it? Because it is not changing with time. Only the factors like x1, x3, and these are going to change, but the entire length is constant. Okay? I hope you understood this. Okay, very good. Okay. Have you got this? JNV Yanam? Okay. So this dx by dt, this dx by dt, this dx1 by dt is nothing but velocity of this m1, because according to this concept, x is reducing, so we would take it as negative. Got it? So this is nothing but, if I consider the velocity of block m1 is v1, and if I consider the velocity of this x3, x3 is the velocity of pulley, you will say. Okay. So what is the velocity of pulley? Let's say it is vp. Got it? So dx1 by dt is nothing but velocity of block 1 plus it is 2 times of dx3 by dt, which is 2 times of velocity of pulley. So from here we can say that velocity of pulley is nothing but minus of vp by 2, which means velocity of pulley is in the downward direction. Okay, and it is constantly, it is moving less faster than m. Got it? If you again differentiate this term, differentiate with respect to time, so it will be dvp by dt equals to minus of, you see, it is not vp, it is v1. Okay, dv1 by dt, and it is 1 by 2. Outside we have taken. So what it will give us? It is ap, acceleration of pulley, is minus of acceleration of block 1 divided by. Got it? So if you find any kind of trouble in this question, in this concept, just let me know in the chat box if you got it or not. Okay. So if you have any kind of doubt in this situation, in this question, just write it in the chat box. No? Okay. So the next question that we have is this. A figure shows an arrangement of pulley mass system. Find the relation between the acceleration of two blocks. Okay. And this block, let's say, has mass m1, and this block has, let's say, mass m2. Okay. Got it? I'm telling you two method here. Okay. Firstly, you will go the previous one, which is the very fundamental concept. Okay. The length of the string is constant always. Got it? And the second one, that the relation that we have found out is according to that. Okay. So let's say what we are going to do here, the solution of this concept. Firstly, let us assume the tension in this string is T. ठीक है? Always start assuming the tension from the pulley which is fixed. ठीक है? यहाँ पे ये पुली क्या है? फिक्स पुली है. This pulley is the movable pulley. ये अप एंड डाउन जा सकती है. So always start your question, your FBD or the tension notification or the tension arrangement from the fixed pulley. ठीक है? हमेशा. It will easy the task for you. No? Let's see. This T, this string is going here, so the tension would be same. Tension T would also be same. Again, this is going this side, the same strings, so tension would be same. Look how simple is this. Okay? And you will see that T and T will result in 2T. Okay? Similarly, this is the simple concept. Upward tension T and T is there, so downward will be 2T, the resultant of that, equal and opposite. Got it? Okay. So now what we are going to do, we are just finding the acceleration of this. You will see if this block is moving upward, let's say, okay, or you can say down, whatever you want. Let's say down. The acceleration of this block is m1 is a1, okay, and this end, focus on this end. This end will also moving with an acceleration a1, but in upward direction. Got it? What about this end? What about this end? Tell me if this end is going to move or not. Just write it in the chat box. Yes and no type of thing. Okay. JNV Yanam is here. Lakshmi JNV is here. So just tell me if this, the string that I have mentioned here, this string will going to change its length or not. Just tell me. Okay. Just reply in the chat box. Now it will be the more interactive session with you. Okay. Yeah, very good. JNV Yanam has answered that it will not going to change. And it is absolutely correct because this end of the string is fixed. So there is no way it is going to move. So the acceleration of this end, it will be 0. And this is the acceleration of pulley, let's say here. It is AP and it is moving upward. Okay. So the relation that we have find out is that acceleration of pulley is a1 plus a2 acceleration of end divided by 2, and you have to put it with sign, put, or we can say with sign, this formula that you have to use with sign. Okay, again, if the velocity has been asked, so the same formula, but we use velocities here and we have to put it according to the sign. For the easiness, take the positive sign in the direction of the movement of pulley. ठीक है? So pulley की direction में जो block move कर रहा है, that would be considered as positive, and opposite is negative. Okay. So for this, if you try to draw the FBD of block M1, this is M1. M1 is, there is a force M1G acting downward. Upward force is tension T in this. Okay. And the acceleration is downward, which is A1. Okay. So if you write the equation for this is the FBD. And here is the equation. Newton's second law of motion. equation. What will be this? In the direction of acceleration, whatever the force is present would be considered positive, other one is negative. So F is equals to ma. So here m1g minus t is equals to m1a1. This is equation number 1. Okay. Now the second equation is for block M2. Here this is M2. Downward force M2G. This is moving up. So it is what tension here is T and T. Two tensions are here. If you remove the pulley, you will see